Hello again, everyone. Ambassador Terry here with another Year 6 interview. And my guest this week is Lita Abella. Welcome, Lita.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here with you, Ambassador Terry Nichols.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to love this. So here comes the famous question. Lita Abella, what are you doing?
That is a loaded question, and I do a lot of things, but I would say in a nutshell, I help solve people's problems. And how do I do that? Well, here are the different things that I do. I'm an author, a public speaker, a mediator, a coach, consultant, educator, and licensed private investigator. I think I got everything in there. So the next question people say, okay, that's a lot of different industries and, coach, private investigator, author, you're all over the place. How did you get that way and into all those different industries? Well, that's also a very interesting story. So let me just tell you a little bit about my career. My career started about 45 years ago with the Los Angeles Police Department. There I worked everything from patrol, vice, narcotics, internal affairs, and just about everything in between. I left at the rank of lieutenant after 20 years of service. However, during my 20 years, I was exposed to a lot of traumatic events. As a police officer helping people, I've never had anyone die on me before. The first time I saw a child die and had to tell the parents that their child was dead, that was very traumatic. I could go on for stories on and on and on. So not only did I witness a lot of trauma as a police officer and helping others, I also suffered a lot of challenges, to say the least, being on the police department. And this was back in the 1980s and 90s. So we're going back a few years. So I ended up filing some lawsuits against the city. And unfortunately, the attorney that I hired did not do a proper job. And so I ended up having to file a malpractice lawsuit against him. That was my impetus to go to law school. I said to myself, you know what? I'm never going to let this happen to me again. So I'm going to learn the law. I went to law school, which was a challenge. And I'm the first person in my family to actually not only graduate from high school, graduate from college, but to also graduate from law school. My father immigrated here from the Philippines. My mother was a biracial African American and Caucasian. So neither one of them ever even finished high school. So that was a challenge and a triumph for me. And after graduating from law school, I started my own business as a licensed private investigator, which is, succinct with being in law enforcement after 20 years. It's very common for officers to start their own practice in private investigations. That was a great experience. So I went from being in the government side of things to being in private practice. From there, while I was a licensed private investigator, because of all the traumatic events that I had been going through, dealing with and solving other people's problems, I had to have an escape for myself. So I got into the fitness industry. So for the last 25 years, I've also been a certified fitness professional. I started teaching different types of classes in the gym, yoga, Pilates, kickboxing, Zumba, cycling, aqua aerobics, everything. I love fitness. And that really helped me with not only my physical abilities, but my mental and emotional abilities, dealing with all the types of issues that I've dealt with helping others.